In this work, we introduce VQActFlow, a multitask robot manipulation policy that is steerable at inference time. A multitask policy must select among qualitatively different action modes, conditioned on language and visual context. A wrong selection means executing a coherent behavior for the wrong task, or attempting the right task in a way the scene does not allow. VQActFlow exposes an explicit preference over these modes, which inference time guidance steers without retraining. VQActFlow has three components. First, a vector-quantized autoencoder tokenizes each chunk of actions into a learned codebook. Second, a variational flow matching transformer maintains an explicit preference over codes throughout generation, a categorical distribution that updates at every integration step. Third, two mechanisms act on this preference at inference. Classifier-free guidance steers the policy toward the instructed action mode, and a contrastively trained codebook critic pushes it toward feasible modes. On the Libero goal benchmark, the task is to open a drawer and place a bowl inside. At low guidance, the policy executes coherent actions on the wrong object. At high guidance, it reaches the correct object but misses the grasp. Aggressive amplification degrades execution precision. Success peaks at 81% when guidance is tuned to the middle of this range. Scaling to the 90-task Libero 90 benchmark, VQActFlow reaches 80.5%, ahead of matched capacity continuous flow matching at 77, and ahead of every discrete action baseline we evaluated, discrete policy at 60, MTAct at 72, VQBT at 24. On the G1 humanoid platform, the same policy is conditioned on 4 different language instructions: red ball, cup, bottle, medicine, each placed into a shared bin. Without guidance, the policy succeeds 24% of the time. Wrong task errors account for 41% of outcomes. Adding classifier-free guidance drops wrong task errors to 2.5%, lifting overall success to 57.5%. The missed grasp rate stays unchanged. By design, CFG sharpens task identity but not execution precision, the gap the codebook critic is designed to fill. On a 2-arm Aloha-style setup, VQActFlow handles 4 contact-rich tasks: sweeping a battery into a dustpan, placing a rubber duck into a bin, inserting a cylinder into a hole, and placing a red ball into a black bin. With guidance, average success across the 4 tasks is 77.5%, well above the discrete policy baseline. The match capacity continuous flow matching baseline fails every task. We attribute this to the VQVAE's temporal compression. The decoder maps code sequences into action chunks through a learned compositional vocabulary that encodes trajectory smoothness, while continuous flow matching at the same backbone capacity fails to produce smooth trajectories. Inspection of the rollouts reveals severe high-frequency oscillation in continuous flow matching's commanded joint trajectories. Peak joint jerk reaches the order of 10,000 radians per second cubed, while VQActFlow stays near 200, roughly 2 orders of magnitude smoother. The oscillation visible here is the reason it cannot complete any of the 4 bimanual tasks. VQActFlow demonstrates that maintaining an explicit preference over discrete action modes provides an effective interface for inference time guidance across simulated benchmarks and 2 real robot platforms. Thank you.